concerns about Alabama? What are they showing?
Well, I just watched the tape with Vanderbilt, and I'm sick to my stomach. They were up 3 with 2 minutes to go and had the ball. And you sit there and say, you know, and then I watched them with Florida. They had Florida beat dead to rights. Had them, threw the ball away. The last kid makes a crazy play, and they don't get it inbounded. Their point guard is really good. They've got athletes on the wings, and they got a couple bangers inside. They're not deep. They're playing seven guys, but you know, it's another dangerous game. I mean, it's a hard game to play. And I will tell you, Anthony's establishing what he's trying to do. They lead the league in field goal percentage defense, 3-point field goal percentage defense, and maybe steals. So they're a team that he's starting to put his imprint on it.
How are they doing that, the defense?
Well, they're pressing a little bit. They're scrambling it up. They're playing some zone. They're doing good stuff.
How difficult is it for your team to play ball control type teams?
You got to play them all. You try to schedule everybody. You try to schedule a team that's going to play real fast. You try to schedule teams that are going to press you. You're going to try to schedule teams that are going to hold the ball. Princeton offense is a great one. Schedule that team every year so you can see and the players can understand, because you can't talk them through it. Play a team that plays all zone, never gets out of the zone. Play a team that's going to play real physical and bang you and grab you and hold you. I mean, the bottom line is you're just trying to get them to feel, and you're also trying to learn about your team. So this will be another good test for us.
John, DeMarcus has said before that there was a little bad blood with Alabama in his past. Do you talk to him at all about controlling himself?
No, I didn't know there was any bad blood in this past with him. I have no idea why that would be. But, you know, it's obviously he and Eric, from being down there, you know, there may be some of that stuff. But, you know, he's been great. I mean, the kid is, you know, what I told him, and I'm telling him, and they hit me in the mouth. He shows me his lip. It's bleeding. How do you want them to play you? Just give you layups? You're 6 inches bigger and 40 pounds heavier. You catch it, let them shoot a layup. They're not going to do it. They got to do something to try to slow you down. And just deal with it. Get lower, get bigger, be stronger, and make and ones. Make your free throws, which he's been doing.
You preceded or started scanning reports telling us about teams with a lot of times, you know, they had this game and it got away. Is there that much parity in the league? Why is that happening?
There's been about 5 games that have had gaps. Tennessee had one. We had a couple. There's only been about 4 or 5. The rest of them are, and Tennessee was in the other end when Georgia beat them by 20. Other than that, every game has been 3 buckets, 2 buckets, and there's no, you know, and I said about Trent. I mean, Trent, to be in the game with Tennessee and Florida and Georgia, I mean, they had a chance to win all those games. And I know you say, well, they lost them all. But the best jobs you do in coaching are when you're trying to keep a team that is undermanned with a chance to win and keep them believing. You look at John Calipari. Let's just talk about what he did. They came here and we beat them by 70. They haven't lost since then. They have not lost a game. That's coaching. He could have lost his team after that game. And guess what? They're in first place. They're in first place. I mean, that's this stuff. And, you know, you get on a roll and you're doing well, it's easy to stick your head in the sand and everybody says he's winning, so he's coaching his brains out. I'm watching guys and what they're doing. You know, I talked about Rich Brooks after losing those 2 games, Florida and Alabama, that the Packers would have lost to, and then having his team regroup and play. That's coaching.
What does it say to you when DeMarcus says at the beginning of the year, the Alabama game is the biggest game on the schedule for him, and then today he says it's just another game?
He's growing. He's grown up. I mean, I've not had a player come that far that fast. And but then again, I mean, look at John Wall and what he's been able to do, and he's now running the team better. Look at Eric Bledsoe. Look at Daniel Orton. How about DeAndre? He's leading our team in 3-point shooting. You all said he couldn't shoot.
He couldn't shoot. I mean, is he taking?
Yeah, but he took a lot last year.
Yeah, that was the problem.
And so all of a sudden you got a guy that you all know, you see now as a key part to our team. I'm just, right up and down the line. I love the attitude of the guys that aren't getting as many minutes. Ramon has had to step aside because some of these guys are playing well. Now Darius had to step aside a little bit because the other guys are playing better than him. Their attitudes haven't changed. You know, one of the things I'm going to talk to them today about is how much I appreciate coaching these guys, all of them, from the guys that are playing a lot to the guys that aren't playing. Josh has been, you know, here's a kid that could have left and gone somewhere and probably played more, and he stays here, and he's behind two really good big guys, like really good. And he accepts it, and he comes every day, and he knows I'm trying to get him in games because I want to let him know I appreciate how hard he's working. But this entire team, it's been fun to be around, and we're not great every night out, but they're all trying to do what's asked of them.
John, what value do Daniel and DeMarcus have to each other?
What I told him on the bench was, DeMarcus threw a pass to Daniel. Daniel kept it above his chin and scored. And I said, do you understand when two big guys like you are in together? They're on the bench standing there. And I said, usually they won't pass to anybody else except each other because the guards shoot all the balls. So when one of them gets it, if he can't shoot it, he's finding the other big and letting him shoot it. And I said, that's how you two should play when you're in there. If we give it to one, go find the other or score it yourself. The reality of it is one of those other three perimeter guys are going to shoot it if they have it. So, you know, they laughed. They both started laughing. I said, but that's the truth. And, you know, Daniel needs more time, which we're just going to continue to give him. Needs to, you know, I wish he would have been here in the summer for that knee because there are times where you see he's still a little bit hobbled by it. But, you know, other than that, it's he's done great.
Coach, while other players are gaining steam, is John Wall losing steam?
No, he's been great. He's finally understanding he doesn't have to play up to the hype. So now he's running our team the way he needs to run it. He had 7 assists last game. He's not trying to make as many fabulous plays. Because he went 2 for 9, everybody says, well, he didn't play well. What if he went 7 for 9, 7, and then all of a sudden you would have said he's out of his mind? Well, I told him as he got off the bus, there's going to be 2 plays on SportsCenter. You're behind the back layup and your long pass to Eric Bledsoe. He laughed. He saw me the next day. He said, how did you know? I said, you've established yourself. You don't have to play up to the hype. Just play. What I talked to him today about is I'm going to start focusing on his defense. And if I focus on it, and he knows I'm focusing on it, he'll get better. So we'll shore up his defense a little bit from where he's been.
What does he have to prove it, John, his defense?
He just got to stay. He watches the ball on rebounding. He'll get hung up on screens. He stops playing a lot. He ball watches a lot if his man doesn't have the ball. Probably not enough pressure on the ball. And that's all stuff that's, you know, just you concentrate on it, you'll do it. Because he's athletically good enough to be as good a defensive guard as there is in the country. And now all of a sudden we change as a team.
John, we told DeMarcus what you said on the teleconference about big guys. It's part of their life in the post to get hit on. He seemed to have a hard time accepting that. He thinks he's the exception to that he's really getting beat up.
He should ask Shaq when he was in college, huh? What'd they do to him? To where he had to leave and go pro. I mean, they just put 3 guys on him and hung and pushed and shoved, and it was like ridiculous. I can still remember it. So no, he's not the only guy. I mean, but you know what? When you're in his shoes, you feel that way.
He says that